What's going on,
Yo,
everybody?
what's going on? What's up? What's
Good
up?
evening,
What's up?
everyone.
Yeah, we back again. Another episode of Solutions. Guys, please forgive me. Ladies, please forgive me. Bridget, James, forgive me. I'm rolling back uh to my destination. So I'm if it looks kind of blurry or whatever, I apologize. But we here. We here. I just made another
Yeah.
video, so I was actually introducing today's topic on the page on Facebook. So, with that being said, we wanted to pick up where we left off last week. I hate that James wasn't here. He had a family emergency to deal with, and we really missed him last weekend. But we back again, recovering the topic on healthy mental health. So this is part two to healthy mental health. So joining us today, once again, we have one of, if we can call her a good friend. She's an author. She's a health professional, and she's a motivational speaker. And she has a long list of titles that I don't know all of them. So I'm going to introduce to some and reintroduce to others. Miss Dr. Bridget Jenkins.
Hey, everybody. Good evening. I hope everyone has had an amazing Friday. I absolutely love Fridays because it's the beginning of my rest time, the weekend. Everything I do on the weekend is for me, for the community, and for the glory of God. So I'm glad I'm winding down from work this week, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much, guys, again for having me. I really appreciate you and trusting me with your podcast.
Yes, ma'am. We glad to have you. Glad to have you. And with you saying that, since you back again, you have more experience that I think me and James put together when it comes to the mental patients and people. So we were talking about this, and I just want you to kind of elaborate and share with us some of the things that you've dealt with, and also give it to us from a health professional standpoint on what you've seen and what you've witnessed, and how you watch people go from healthy to unhealthy. And so when we get to that point, once you're done with that, we want to talk about getting them back to health.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, thank you. So, I've been a nurse. This year is my 24th year of being a registered nurse. I am advanced practice.
Woo!
I hold the highest degree in nursing profession, that is a doctorate degree in nursing profession. That's where the doctor comes in at. And in my experience, so earlier I kind of chuckled because you asked me what my area of expertise is. And I have to say I'm an expert nurse. That means that I have worked in every area of nursing.
Okay.
Currently, I am a nursing professor and I teach different courses in nursing. One of those courses has been mental health nursing, where I train nursing students to take care of patients and the community with mental health conditions. In my earlier career, I was a nurse in women's services, more specifically, labor and delivery and mother baby. And what I saw there was a lot of postpartum depression. A lot of times it's overlooked. People think, oh, she just has the baby blues. No, it's a real diagnosis, postpartum depression. And I don't know if you remember in the news, actual nurse, Andrea Yates, who suffered from postpartum depression, and she drowned all of her children. And it's a sad story because nobody heard her cry. Nobody heard her cry. And she kept having baby after baby
Yes.
after baby. And pretty sad story. So I've dealt with postpartum depression with women after having babies. I've also dealt with a lot of depression in the community. seeing people who are homeless, and a lot of the homeless population are military or prior military, and they suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. There's some trauma that they have experienced. Now, I want to make sure that we understand that PTSD is not just for people who were in the military. PTSD can affect anyone who's experienced a traumatic event. And let's say this, those who experience Hurricane Harvey, they are dealing with that. Those that experience Hurricane Katrina, they are dealing with, there's actual ICD code, which is a coding for billing for medical payment through insurance that are associated with those storm-related incidents that lead to depression, okay, post and PTSD. So you don't just have to be in the military, and you don't even have to have dealt with a issue like Hurricane Harvey or Katrina. You could have been an abused child in your childhood and have post-traumatic stress disorder. Or let's take it here, and we have to be careful who we enter a relationship with, because you can also deal with post-traumatic distress disorder after a turbulent, violent domestic violence, whether it was physical, whether it was emotional, whether it is verbal. You could enter into a post-traumatic stress disorder syndrome after one of those bad relationships or marriage, or toxic relationship or marriage. So there's a lot of conditions that I have had an opportunity to deal with. I am a certified mental health first aid provider, meaning that I can assist the police department with a situation, and I can talk them down, or I can see somebody having a mental breakdown in the community, and I'm trained to help them overcome that. Not only am I a certified mental aid first aid provider, I am also a life coach. And in that, we talk about those traumatic events that have affected people over the years, that have caused them to have PTSD, have caused them to have anxiety disorder, which is the number one mental condition right now, is anxiety disorder, or depression. I also talked to someone that has obsessive compulsive disorder, and that is a real mental disorder. And I like to talk about, when I talk about these disorders, I like to put somebody real in your face so you can see it's not just you. And it's not just a Black disease or a poor disease or male disease or woman disease or military disease. Anybody can be affected by this. When I talk about obsessive compulsive disorder, everybody should Google Lizzie or Elizabeth McIngvale, Mattress Mack's daughter, Lizzie Mack. She actually graduated with my oldest from high school together, and she had an obsessive compulsive disorder of washing her hands. She would wash her hands over 4,000 to 5,000 times a day. An actual disorder. We have some people who some people have to take a bath that many times. They just constantly bathing. Or you have somebody who has to drink water over and over again, and they have been in the hospital with water intoxication because they've drunk so much water, but they are obsessive about it. Then you have some people who just want to straighten their pantry all day long and clean up the house. Their house is meticulous. Nothing can be out of place. The coaster on the table is just hanging off just a wee bit, and they have almost a nervous breakdown because it's hanging off. It's not in its proper place. So they're constantly straight, and everything has to be perfect. So you see all of these different kinds of disorders, and they're real. And we have to really spend time talking about them, making sure people understand that they are true, real diagnosis. Is not something made up in your head. It's not something that you just need to get over. It is something that you really need to spend time unpacking and dealing with so that you can overcome it and you can live an amazing life that you were designed to live.
So with that being said, now to go back on it, you said the number one was what? Anxiety?
Anxiety disorder.
So what culture do you see that majority in, or well, not just like a culture, but also, I guess, like more men or women?
So if you look at the statistics, you look at the material, it's going to say women. because women are more apt to go and get help. We can't count you guys because men don't go seek help. They don't go to the doctor. So it's really hard to count men. But if we can put it on a people, I would say, and let me say this before I say this. I can't even say an ethnic group because of the health disparity associated with the poor communities, African American and Hispanic communities. We're often not counted in a lot of these statistics because we don't have access to health. We don't have any health insurance. And so we can't go to the doctor. So a lot of times we're often missed when it comes to being counted in those numbers. So we also have to look at that factor. But when we look at we're looking at the generation after me. You can look at the some millennials and the Gen Zs. They are the most populated group who deal with anxiety right now.
Who is that?
Those are our young people.
Okay.
Our young people. Yes, they deal with anxiety disorder the most at this point.
Okay. So with you knowing that and you working in that field, since you mentioned that, how do we? Because first of all, you unpacked a lot. You covered a whole lot of stuff. I don't want to keep going on without acknowledging that. But
yes,
what are some ways that you see that we can get more people on board to getting help?
I like that question. I think there's one that we need to answer before we answer that one. I think is the ability to recognize it, right?
That's exactly where I was going to go.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the signs?
Okay, first, let's do this. Before we start talking about the signs, let's talk about what is mental health.
Yes.
Everybody's always focusing on your physical health. My blood pressure, the diabetes, heart disease. You hear that all over. Breast cancer, prostate cancer. We hear all of that, but we never. It's so rare that we hear the topic of mental health being talked about. And one of the reasons why I think that people don't talk about mental health because of the taboo of some of the issues that have caused mental health issues, especially in our community. And when I say our community, I mean the African American community. And so when we talk about what mental health is, mental health refers to the cognitive, that is how you think. It also refers to the behavioral, and that is how you act. And then it refers to the emotional well-being of a person. And the well-being is how you feel. So how you think, how you act, and how you feel is mental health. Okay. And so when we start talking about how does that look, you can look at anxiety, depression, or anxiety. I know the big buzzword that we hear now are triggers, and that's a good word to have. So you have to say what triggers your behavior, what upsets you, or what makes you feel nervous, what gives you anxiety, what makes you want to leave a situation, or what makes you want to raise your voice and yell, or make you feel threatening, or threaten that somebody is going to harm you. So when we talk about some of the signs and symptoms of anxiety disorder, let me just give you some of the common ones that they say that we experience, and that's restlessness, fatigue, tense muscles, your neck hurts all the time, your back hurts, also interrupted sleep. We hear a lot of people talking about insomnia. I can't sleep. Is it something in your diet or is it something in your mind? We have to think about it. Why can't you sleep? Something that our body needs. A phenomenon happens when we sleep, and it's called healing. The way the higher power, the Most High designed us was when we are resting, our body is repairing itself. And if you're not sleeping, you are not repairing yourself. Okay.
Mhm.
So you see in uninterrupted sleep, you see interrupted sleep. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can you say that again so people, that last part, so they know how important that is when
So
it comes to your health, your mental health.
a sign of some mental health issues is in interrupted sleep, meaning that you have insomnia. You can't rest at night. You keep waking up all hours of the night. You're not getting a good, solid sleep. And I said that the Most High created us, that when we are sleeping, healing takes place. Our body is healing. Our hormones start to balance. It's time for rejuvenation in our body. And that can't take place if you're not resting well. And I'm not talking about a sleep that's induced because you drank a glass of wine or took some alcohol in, or you took some Ambien, some medication. I'm talking about the sleep that you lay down and you went to sleep after you rested, your body calmed down, all your vital signs began to normalize and relax, and you went to sleep. Not an induced sleep. That's a different kind of sleep than a natural I fell asleep.
Whenever you fall asleep and reach REM. Yeah, because you find a lot of individuals who have physical health problems that a lot of times they have mental health problems as well. And just like you said, it's because they're not getting the adequate amount of sleep needed in order for their body to prepare to recoup from the day before. And when we constantly just go, we not only put a physical strain, but also a mental strain.
Yes.
Because, you how people say, my mind is racing at night. Your mind racing because sometimes we may have too many things going on at one time to where that we to focus on one thing and prioritize what we have going on. Yes. So can cause a mental anguish within ourselves, indirectly. And not even know that we're doing it to ourselves.
The Most High created us, and we are set ourselves.
Sorry, y'all.
I don't know what that is. Okay.
That was Merv. I guess he's going on.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I keep up with the comments too.
Okay.
Well, the comments I'm posting at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to be able to see them. I can't see them unless I hit the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, go ahead. I apologize.
Yeah. So I think sleep is key. Lord knows I love to sleep.
Yeah, James. let me say this about sleep. I have to talk about myself because being a serial entrepreneur, I have 3 businesses, and then I also work, and then I also serve the community. So I've been busy, but I'm single. I can do that. Okay. I don't suggest anybody to do what I'm doing if they married because they're gonna be divorced. But I have devoted my life to service, and so when I do get married, I will definitely put a lot of that on the back burner. But I think that maybe about 5 years ago, I was running. I was working with the mayor's office, doing some community work. I had a business that I had for about 5 years. I was working full time. I was in school, getting my doctorate degree, and I had two children still at home, one getting ready to go to college, one in the 11th grade. And it was a lot. And I was a single mom. And but I just had this fulfilling life where I was doing a lot. I felt like it was fulfilled, and I was doing everything I believe that God created me to do, but I wasn't sleeping. And if you could go back, some of the memories popped up. Lord, another sleepless night. I would go 2-3 days with no sleep, none. Wow. And I know what the effects of no sleep can do. It can cause other diseases. Like I got diagnosed with lupus, and this came out of nowhere. And it was because I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't stopping. I wasn't slowing down. I was always trying to help. And I know God is going to honor that because I did it from a pure heart. But I did not take care of myself in the process. And so after the stroke, I had a stroke. And so I had to make some adjustments in my life. And I decided that I was going to start taking time and resting. And so I let one of the businesses go. I was part of I had a clinic, and I let the partner, I said, you can have this. I'm good. You can buy me out and it's yours. And because that was a major stress for me. And then I started kind of just looking to see what was priority. Of course, my children were priority because they were getting ready to enter their adulthood, and I need to make sure they had an easy transition. And so they became my priority as well. And I kind of pulled back some of the service that I was feeding the homeless every weekend, speaking in the community about diabetes or high blood pressure or something. And so I had to finally say, I got to stop and get me some rest. And I did. And even now, I'll take a day. And I never know what the day is, even though I'm very busy and booked. I block out every month a weekend that I'm not doing anything for anyone. It's just for me. And I may not even leave the house on Saturday. I may sleep all day. I do not get on social media. I stay off. I schedule posts if I need to post something for the business. And I don't do anything for anybody else. And I just learn to rest. And if I tell you, I sleep so well. I get some good deep REM sleep. That's what they say. Miracles happen in the deep REM sleep. I go to sleep and I rest so well. And we have to understand that when you are not sleeping well, it's your body's systems are always on the go. We have to stop. Our body systems have to rest so they can rebuild, so they can heal and get prepared for the next day's journey. And so a lot of times people don't sleep is because they're doing too much, yes. But a lot of times it's some other underlying issues. They're unhappy. They're not happy in their job. They're not happy in their marriage or their relationship. Their children bad. They got a lot of things going on, and they have to deal with those things in order for them to have a healthy mindset, a healthy body, a healthy mental health.
Yes. Because listening as you talk, I know firsthand what you're talking about. A lot of people, a lot of our viewers don't know, but we all got a story, and with that being said, we all been through something, and I know firsthand because 2009, I was working just like you said you was. I had started my own business. Was making substantial amounts of income, and nobody couldn't stop me. It was just like full throttle. I got to go. I got to do this. Got to get that. I got my throat swelled up. I had flu-type symptoms. I was having heat flashes. I was sweating, and it's the middle of summertime. I mean, I shouldn't have been feeling like I was feeling. Talked to my mother, and my mother told me, baby, you need to go to the doctor. Went to the doctor. I had meningitis.
Wow.
And, I learned that you have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Because your body is not a machine. It's not designed to go and go and go and go and go and go and go. You got to stop. You got to stop. You got to ground yourself. You have to meditate on nothing. You have to just meditate on nothing. Do nothing. Just ground. Because all of this, it does play a part on your mental health. It will cause you to be unhealthy mentally because you just going. You never giving yourself a chance to reset.
Right.
Or never giving yourself a chance to release, and so I know exactly what you're talking about because now, I mean, I'm getting my rest. See, it's a difference in sleeping
Yes.
and resting. And see, a lot of people don't know about that either. You can sleep but not rest.
Yep.
And so you can wake up and still feel like you didn't even
You haven't
sleep.
even laid down. Yes.
So, I'll take a power nap. I'll take a 2-hour nap and I feel good. Now, what I learned, doctor, is, but the way that your mind works is you have to rest your mind, because your body can be resting while you're sleeping, but your mind can still be going. So you have to learn to turn this off.
Mm-hmm.
So what you were saying, when you break away from everything and you don't do nothing, you're giving your mind a chance to catch up with you telling it not to do anything.
Yes.
Because I used to ask this question. It's funny. I lived another life, right? I used to be in another arena.
Yeah.
And so I used to ask people, I used to say, what are you thinking about when you're not thinking about nothing? Because you stop, you still thinking about something.
Yeah.
You're thinking about not thinking about nothing. So we gotta be careful. I know I'm laughing, but this is serious.
Yes.
We have to be careful when we continue to just go and go and go and go and go, and it's nonstop. Because, like we was talking, doctor, that starts to not only affect you, but it affects your loved ones and the people that you care about.
Yes.
And sometimes it's sad because, we don't, from like a person that's on the outside looking in, when they look at you like you strong and, you always got it and, everything is going good for you, they have a tendency to not ask you, are you okay? Or actually make sure that you're okay. Because they feel like, oh, they strong, this person, they always got it, and no, we have to start checking on our people too, because
strong people.
Some people don't know how to stop. Some people don't know. They just don't know how to stop. They gotta go. They driven, and they gonna run themselves in the ground.
Yes,
I think sometimes too, approachability plays a part in whether or not a person actually approach you and ask you if you got, like what you have going on. Because if a person don't feel comfortable approaching you, then you'll never receive that hand, like nobody will never extend that olive branch to you. So at the same time, people say, oh man, I be going through stuff and people not there for me. I'm always there for other people. And I ask other people how they doing and check on them, but nobody never asks me, right? But do you make yourself available for people to ask you? And a lot of times people read your body language. It could be things that we say, don't say, things that we do or don't do, so we also have to make ourselves available for people to check on us mentally as well.
Right.
I think that that's true. But I also think that, like, for me, no one is unapproachable for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to see, if you feel led, you feel in your heart, I'm not getting spiritual and all of that. Religious. This is spiritual. If you feel a person is something that's been pulling you towards that person and they're unapproachable, then you have to use discernment and say, should I say something? And just something as simple as, hey, how are you? With genuineness will open a person up. I always say, to people who are my friends, or even those who want to be my friend, are you sure? Because I'm a lot. Not that I'm a lot of negative energy or bad energy, but I'm in your business. I will call you and say, hey, you okay? And I might ask, and this is no lie, and I think she's going to be watching. I had a friend. It just popped up in my mind. She seemed like she had it together. She looked like she always had it together. So I just said, call and offer her, told her you have to give her $100. And I called her, say, hey, boo. She was like, hey, sissy. I say, you good? She's talking about, yeah, I'm good. I said, oh, well, I got $100 for you. I just cashed after two. And she just broke down crying. Like,
Wow.
what's wrong? And she's like, I just got paid Friday and it's all gone. And I'm like, what? Well, why you ain't say nothing? You can't tell everybody you're not making it or you're struggling. They will drag you in these Facebook streets. I was like, well, you need to be careful who you are around or who you hang out with, because I want to hang out with people that I can call and say, hey, I need you.
Right.
And I want to be that friend too. And so I've learned a long time ago to, I'm not scared of people. If you, I don't say nothing to her. She'll eat your head up. Oh, okay. Well, let me just go see. And if you just say hello with a genuine spirit, people open up. And it's like, are you okay? Do you need anything? Not trying to be all loud and boastful, trying to take pictures for the gram or nothing. Hey, you good? And it's something as simple as that. People recognize when you are truly for them. And so if it's somebody, we do need to be a little bit better, especially my sisters. We do need to be a little bit better, not be so angry. We need to learn how to love ourselves and let people love us. Put down the wall. We ain't always got to be coming out with fists out like, angry and mad. We've been through a lot as a people.
Yeah.
Black men have been through a lot as a people. Black women have been through a lot. And we have to let our guards down so we can love on one another.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that just, I know you say asking people, just inquiring as, how you doing, and, just checking up on people. But what are some of the things that just, just an average person that don't have the doctrine can do to, I guess, lead an individual into that conversation to help them be vulnerable enough to, I guess, open up about their mental status at that particular time?
Listen, you don't have to have a degree, a certification. I got all this stuff over here because I feel like I needed it for certain groups and certain people. But you don't have to have none of that. All you need to have is a caring heart. You care for people. Anybody can do it. And how do you lead up to it? I always say a little prayer, Lord, I'm going to say something to this person, guide me and let them open up their heart. And I go in. And I have never had an issue, never had an issue where somebody did not receive me. Now, I have had an issue when I said something, a person yelled at me and attacked me. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry that you feel like that I'm trying to get in your business, but I'm really not. I just want to know, are you okay? And if you need anything, is there anything I can do for you? I need some money. And can you give me? I said, yeah, what do you need? I need $200. My light's been off for a week. Okay. Well, let's get Reliant. Well, who is your provider? Reliant. Oh, I got their number on speed dial in my phone. Called it. I say, give them all your information and say, ma'am, I would like to pay that bill for her. Okay.
Well,
you just meet the need. You talk to them. And if you can't, I don't have $200. I got 50 on it. And let's see if we can come up with the other 150 and let me help you. Oh, she chewed me out. She went in on me, but I didn't retreat. I was like, this sister is obviously hurting. She needs some help. And I met her need. Thank God I was in a position at that moment too. But I promise you, if I wasn't, I would have made some phone calls, because the sisters I run with, we'd all got the money together and made sure she had it. And this other one, and then this other sister was like, but B, what else she need? She got groceries? Do she got this? We would have met her need. So all you got to do is present yourself with a caring heart. And yes, when people are hurting, when they have a high anxiety, or when they're in a situation and when they're in that traumatic state, they have PTSD and they're dealing with it in a high state right now. What are you going to do? How can you talk that person down? Be honest with them and say, I just want whatever you want me to do. I don't got to say nothing. I'm just here when you're ready. You don't have to say anything. Just be there. They'll open up in their talk.
So what are some of the things that you see in your profession where that society contributes to the high anxiety in individuals?
Okay. The stigmatism that's placed on people, especially black men, black women, black men, y'all all robbers, dope dealers. Okay. That's the stigma. And every time I walk out, I feel people looking at me that I'm a robber, a dope dealer. That's how they look at black. That can create anxiety. That every time you go out, you got to be looking over your shoulder because there's an attack on a black man. That can create anxiety. It can, even if you've been in a situation where a cop has racially profiled you, pulled you over and treated you like trash. Now you got a post-traumatic stress disorder. Us watching, and I'll tell y'all this, and I know your viewers and y'all might not ever believe, I have yet to watch George Floyd be murdered. I have yet to watch that. I have not seen it.
Oh.
And I'm not going to watch it.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah,
I haven't done it.
Those type of things put you in a different mindset.
Those things will mess with your mind. While I still march for George Floyd, I never watched that. I just heard about what went on. I didn't have to see that to know that it was injustice, what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. And so sometimes the things that we see can constantly, and this what you're seeing on the news, can constantly keep you in a state of anxiety. We got people so afraid of COVID till they can barely function. They have stopped living. One lady says she has not been out of her house in almost 2 years. Why? Are you that fearful of getting COVID that you can't leave your home? That will create anxiety.
Look, I'm on a project right now. You gotta be COVID tested, and they testing us 2 times a week. So every third day we getting tested. So it's real out here, you know.
Yes, and it can create
dealing with that.
Yeah, it can create high levels of anxiety. And now they're saying you can't go out to eat, you can't go to the grocery store if you don't have the vaccine. That's creating all these different rules, and people are anxious. I'm scared to get it because we don't know what it is, but I got to be able to go to work. I got to be able to go to the grocery store.
You can't cough. You can't sneeze no more.
Yeah. As soon
you can't clear your throat.
Everybody looking. Yes.
You sneeze.
I joked the other day. I sneezed. I mean, I coughed at the unit, and everybody just took off running. Like running, like I was like, really, y'all? Oh my God.
Right.
I was traveling doing, like, when COVID first started, I was still doing a bunch of traveling for work, right? And I knew it was something serious then. I was somewhere getting something to eat. And this guy, he didn't have no mask on or nothing. He just coughed. That was the end of my meal. I was done. I got up. It was over. So I understand. Trust me, I understand.
Yeah. So we're living in and I could say a volatile time where there's so much fear, so much anxiety. Then there's depression because people have lost their job. They just entered the rental moratorium on evictions, right? And did you see the list of people? How many people were about to be homeless? Did you see that? Those people are dealing with a lot.
I heard about it. Yeah.
Yes. And then when this COVID pandemic is over, we're going to have a whole group of people who are going to have post-traumatic stress disorder.
Well, you know what? Right now, we're talking about adults, right? But sometimes, the majority of the time, we forget about our children and the stress that it puts on our kids, right? Because our kids are living through this and experiencing the same things that we experience. They feel what we feel.
Yes.
They see everything. They're like sponges, you know. So we can't forget about their mental health in the grander scheme of things.
Let me tell you something about children in this isolation. Children need to be socialized. And a year of being at home in your room and can't see your friends has taken a mental toll. I've seen it even in my own grandchildren, that I miss my friends. Don't nobody know me no more. Where's everybody? If you don't live in a neighborhood with the kids and you can't come outside and play and whatever, it can be hard on those children. They are also experiencing depression, anxiety. And what are they supposed to do about it? Because they are minors, they're children. You literally got to do what your mama say do, whatever it is. Go
That's
sit
what I
down and
call
play your game and shut up, because you're not understanding. They miss their friends. I miss my friends. I think I posted on Facebook one day. I say, y'all, I'm a very my love language is physical touch.
Okay.
So I love to hug. I like to give you a kiss, and I might run up on you and hug you. And now I have to wait a minute.
Fist bump.
I got nobody to talk to or touch on. I was like, I miss the hugs. I miss the fellowship with my friends. And I literally was. We FaceTiming, we doing everything. But I'm like touching the computer screen. They talking about what you doing. I said, I'm trying to touch y'all. Because I missed y'all so much. And so now here we are with the elbows or the fist bump. And I want a hug. So I've had to adapt. So, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable now where I hug certain people. If I hold you too long, don't take nothing out of it. I just miss you. I miss that part of being able to hug. It's deep, y'all. I'm telling
you. Because if you think about it, we're actually becoming social degenerates.
Yes.
And it's crazy because once we grasp a sense of the new normalcy,
yes,
then we won't have the ability to communicate with each other. And if you think about it, the social distancing has an adverse effect, because we know that domestic violence have gone up. We know road rage, just violence in general, has risen because people don't know how to deal or interact with individuals anymore. Yes. And I liken people to right now in the society that we in, the atmosphere, to truck drivers. The truck drivers who be out on the road, they come home, they don't know how to talk to you, they don't know how to deal with you, nothing, because the majority of their time they spend by themselves. So you tolerate yourself. When you go out in public now, people's temper's short. You can't deal. You don't have no patience.
Yes.
You're not as loving as you once were before. So it's taken a huge toll.
Yes.
On individuals' social abilities. And we mentioned the kids, is that these are the times where children learn to be sociable and to become a part of society. And you learn to become a part of society by interacting with society. They're missing crucial and key moments in the development of their lives, which also affects their mental state, which you're affecting their mental state now, and you don't know the toll that it's going to have on them as
later
preteens, teenagers, or adults, because they're going through PTSD as well.
Yes.
So you seen that big list as you mentioned of people that's getting kicked out. Those are the adults' names that are on the list, right?
Yep.
Those, if they have children, those children are getting kicked out and they're going to be homeless as well. So it's a lot to deal with, and it's a lot to take in.
Look at this. This is amazing. So I just Googled the opposite of social anxiety. And this is what Google said. Y'all ready? A psychopath is also what you would find when looking for the opposite of someone with social anxiety disorder.
A narcissist.
A narcissist.
Hey, look, you ain't missing me, man. I be on it, man.
I'm fascinated because look at the result of not socializing, not interacting. You know, I tell people all the time, it's amazing because I'm not a friendly person, but I'm very social. So I'm not psychopathic.
There's a difference. No, but
yeah, I'm not psychopathic.
there's.
But I don't like to be around fake people that pretend to be something that they're not. But look at what this is saying. If you don't interact with people, you're a psychopath. You're psychotic. And again, I know I'll be laughing like this stuff is serious, man. Like, you mean to tell me this is the result? So when people have when your conscience is talking to your mind and telling you to do something that you know under normal rational circumstances you wouldn't do, that's what you're gonna go do. You know why? Because you haven't been interacting with anybody. So now, if this is the only interaction that you can get by going to inflict pain on somebody, it gives you a release of, watch this, endorphins and amphetamines. It becomes a high because you're looking for something to keep your attraction to human interaction.
Mm-hmm. And let me
go ahead.
Let me give you something else that I think we all need to think about. We're getting ready to come up onto the fall. Okay. And there's a disorder called SAD, seasonal affective disorder. Wow. And it happens in the fall and the winter when it gets dark early. And people are depressed. They're sad. They're agitated easily. And it's coming up September, October, November, December.
Didn't even know that.
Sometimes mid-January. So it's like 5 months out of the year that, because our neurotransmitters are low because there's no sunlight, there's less light, it's darker longer than it is daylight. So we don't have those neurotransmitters. So now you have SAD, a seasonal affective disorder. And if you do the research, some people commit crimes during this time and they can use that as a reason why, and they can get off for mental health reasons.
But we don't want to tell nobody that because we don't want them to go do it.
Prove it. I mean, you gotta prove it. You gotta prove it, but it's a true disorder.
Yeah, I can't argue with the doctor, man. Hey, she know what she know.
Yeah, you gotta prove it, but it's even a time, and I catch it sometimes because I'm a summer spring girl. I love it. I gained 20 pounds in the winter because I can't go outside and play. I hate the cold. And I'm cooking gumbo. I'm cooking these comfort foods, and because we can't go out. It's dark. It's time to come home. You can't usually go do your normal run in the park because it's dark now. It's dark at 5:30. Okay, so seasonal affective disorder is coming up, and people are already, healthcare providers are getting ready for it because on top of COVID anxiety, COVID post-traumatic stress disorder, now you got SAD is on its way. And so we have to, and so how do you deal with all of this negative stuff that we've been talking about? The depression, the post-traumatic stress disorder, even the schizophrenia, even the bipolar, all of this, even the OCD, the anxiety. You got to look at the risk factors, the things that are associated with these disorders, and try to eliminate some of the things. So in health care, physical health, mental health, there are risk factors of getting some of these disorders. Okay. And some of them are modifiable. That means you can change them. And some of them are non-modifiable. That means you can't do nothing about it. It is what it is. Que sera, sera, right? And so when we talk about the things that we can't change, we're talking about our sex, gender, our age, and our ethnicity. We can't change that. We Black, and we're going to be dealt with, they're going to have this stigma associated with Black people. They're going to have the stigma associated with Hispanic people. Okay, we can't do nothing about that. But what about the things that we can change? So, socioeconomic conditions. If you're unhappy where you work, they say you can change that, and you can. You might have to go get a new certificate, get a little bit more education, find a new job. There's no reason that you should be working in a job and you are not happy. I don't care what they paying you. Level up, try to go get you some certificates. And I'm gonna tell you something else that a lot of people don't know. Right now, you can almost go to school for free. There's so many resources. Go to Texas Workers, TWC. There's so many resources that they are providing. COVID relief education, COVID relief training, COVID, because of COVID. Take advantage of some of these resources. If you're not happy doing what you do, change that, because you can. And then we also can talk about your level of social achievement. How do you feel outside? How do you feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be? I feel like I should have a podcast. I should have a book written. I got a book that I wanted to write going on 5 years. Write that book. Start that podcast. There are so many master classes out here now. Reach out to somebody that has done it and ask them to mentor you to get it done. Okay.
Yeah.
You can change some things. You don't have to be unhappy because you have not done some of the things that you had a dream of doing. You don't have to be sad and depressed watching somebody else podcast or book take off when you got a book down in the inside of you that you need to write, that you want to write, but you just don't know how to do it. Reach out to somebody and get you some help. Then you got you live in this rundown house. You're not happy. Can you change that? Yes, you can. You got to do the work, though. You got to put in the work. Reach out. Find somebody to help you fix it up. Or if you own it, if it's your grandma's house, sell it. And I know the family might be mad at you, but do you want to live in a house that's dilapidated? Do you want to live in that house? Or change your situation? I always tell people there are some modifiable things that you can change that can help change your mental status. There are some things you can change, and there are some things you can't do nothing about. If you're in an unhappy relationship, you're not happy, men and women. Sometimes people think it's just women that's not happy in relationship. There are some men who are not happy. There are some men who are staying because of the kids. There are some men there that are not happy. There are some women that are not. If you are not happy, if you have put in the work, we have went to counseling, this not working. I've tried, it's not working. It is okay to get a divorce. It is okay to end that long-term relationship. It is okay. Your happiness is your responsibility. It is okay to end that long-term relationship that you are not happy in. It is okay for you to get a divorce. It is okay. It is okay if you have done your part to make this relationship work. I've been to counseling over and over with her. She's still hollering, screaming, cussing me out and scratching me all up. That's toxic. You don't deserve that, man. Okay? King, you don't deserve that. Woman. Queen, you don't deserve to be dragged down your living room hall every other night. You don't deserve that. You don't have to live like that. Do something and get out. That is a modifiable risk factor. What that means is I can do something about this situation. Yes, you can. There are resources.
Say it again. I don't think they heard you.
There are some modifiable resources, things that you can do out here. You don't have to be unhappy. And then I'm talking to a group of single women on tomorrow afternoon, and everybody wants to get married. I want to get married again. Okay. I've been single 18 years last month, and it's been an amazing 18 years. I can stay single. I'm okay. This ain't you. If I get married, thank you, God. If I stay single, thank you, God. I'm gonna live this life to the best of my ability. There's this group of women I want to talk to, and all they want to do is they depressed because they can't get married. They can't find nobody to marry him. And I just want them to know, and anybody that's listening, male or female, you can have that amazing life as a single individual. I have done everything I possibly want to do. The only thing I haven't done is I haven't went to Greece yet. I was going to Greece last year, had paid for my friend and myself to go. And she said, we ain't gonna be able to go. No, we're not, because Corona real bad. But I want to go to Greece. And if I got to go solo, Jolo, I'm going. Okay. That's the only thing on my list that I haven't done. You don't have to get married to be happy. You don't have to be in a relationship to be happy. You don't have to have children to be happy. Your happiness is your responsibility, and you can do the work to make you happy. You don't have to be walking around here being sad, being depressed over things that you have absolutely no control over.
No control.
No control over. And
Only variable that's constant.
Corona is one of them. We don't have no control over that, y'all. We don't even know what it is. Just be honest about it. We know what we heard them say it was from a bat from Wuhan, China. We know that. But we've been lied to before. So who said we're not being lied to now? So, okay, it's from a bat in Wuhan, China. Okay. Could you have went over to Wuhan, China and told that bat to stay over there and don't come over here and bring that over here? No. So don't let that thing control you and keep you in an unhealthy place, keep you unhappy, keep you sad and depressed because you can't go out, because you can't go to the party like you want to, or you can't do something. Some things we cannot control. You control the things you can, and you can control your happiness. And if you can,
I was going to say, because the key here in what she's saying is health.
Yes.
Health.
Yes.
Health is worth it.
Your health
you being healthy is worth you getting out of stuff.
Yes. Your mental health, your physical
unhealthy,
health,
yes,
your spiritual health.
Yes. You want to be healthy or you want to be unhealthy?
Right.
If it's stopping you from being healthy, y'all saw the movie Get Out.
You are in control of your happiness. Don't give anybody else that much power to make you happy. If you cannot find your way, because there are times that we need help. We need a professional to help us. Therapy is okay, y'all. It's okay to talk to somebody. It's okay to look for resources so you can get out of whatever the situation that you're in. It's okay to look for resources to be better, a better you. It's okay. Sometimes it is hard to get over that childhood trauma. I told them that he molested me, but they didn't believe me. They said I must have been being a fast little girl, or I sat on his lap one time 2 minutes. They deflected. They didn't even say, are you okay, or what happened? So now you are 40 years old, and every time your husband touch you a certain way, you don't touch me. Or how about this? You tell him don't touch you at all. There are men out here who have not had sex with their wives in years. Why? Because there's some emotional trauma that has not been dealt with. There are some men who are here not want to have sex with women because they have been hurt. They have been abused. They have not dealt with that emotional and physical trauma that they sustained when they were a child. And then you go get married and think marriage is going to fix it. Actually, more is going to be added. Marriage is not a fix-all. You have to unpack those things. Go speak to someone and tell them how you feel and what happened to you so they can help you deal with those childhood trauma that you dealt with or that you faced. Now you've grown, and it's harder and harder for you to deal with it. Every time you smell Old Spice cologne, that's a trigger for you. Because the man that raped you had Old Spice cologne.
That's fine, because I don't even wear Old Spice. I'm good.
I'll give you one different than this. This man that had a beard molested you. And every time you see a man with a beard, it's a trigger for you.
What a ball.
That's kind of hard nowadays.
I'm telling you, there's some real issues out here that we need to unpack. It's okay to get help. It's okay to go see a counselor. It's okay.
So we know you're in the health field. Do you counsel individuals as well?
I am a certified Christian counselor. I just received that certification on last month, but I've also been a certified life coach, and I talk to people about overcoming. things that have happened. So yes, I do. I will talk to you. And if it's something that by law says that I can't deal with, like one, I will not actively deal with an active child abuse case. That is for the authorities.
Don't blame me.
I can't do that. If there's violence, something that has happened, rape, I have to report that. I have a special number that I call for HPD. I have to report it. If you're being chased or abused or you're hiding from someone, I have numbers where I can place you into a safe home so that you can be safe, but I have to report it. So there's some things that if there's an active divorce, I will not be involved in that. Okay, that needs to play out in court. Okay, but yes, I will help anybody get over some childhood trauma, help them get through this COVID isolation, anything that they're dealing with. Yes, I'm available for that.
Doctor, I think we had at this time. I think I take a couple questions from the viewers. Sister Haygood said, what are some ways to prevent these illnesses outside of rest?
Outside of rest. So to prevent some of them, I'll tell you this, and this may be a shock to a lot of people. Some of the depression or mood disorders are just a vitamin and mineral imbalance. We have to take care of ourselves. We got to stop eating all of this poison with this red color dye, yellow number 9, MSG. This will knock off your balance of your neurotransmitters. So a healthy diet is very, very important. What we put into our bodies matters. Okay? It matters. And I'll say this, and I know this is going to shock people coming from a healthcare provider. If you're taking more than 2 or 3 pills a day for some chronic health condition, your neurotransmitters are going to be off. Your body's going to be off. You're going to be depressed. You're going to not be able to sleep well. If you're overweight,
wow,
it can cause an imbalance in your hormones. You have to take care of ourselves on a physical level. I'm telling you that the medications are major. And I know people with polypharmacy. That means that they're taking more than 5 pills a day for some chronic condition. We got to stop it. We got to start looking for more natural, holistic ways to treat disorders. And if you're on a high blood pressure, you need to fix that. Lose weight so you can get off. If you have type 2 diabetes, it is reversible and it is preventable. You need to unpack that, figure out why I need to have this diabetes medicine. Lose weight is 9 times out of 10. Change your eating is 9 times out of 10. Okay. These medications have a lot of chemicals in it that are unnatural for our body. And so if you take it, it's going to cause something else not to be balanced. So diet, exercise, and Baron, I think you said one earlier when you was talking about meditating and clearing your mind.
Yes.
Stopping, getting off of social media. Y'all stop watching some of these dramas on TV. They giving you drama that's not even real, and they're putting it into your spirit. And now you in the house doing some of the same stuff they doing. Okay.
You sitting up here upset because of somebody else's drama.
Yes.
Watching the ratchet TV show.
Girl, I was so mad. What? That's not even real. That's TV. You know that's TV, right?
It's scripted.
Ooh.
It's scripted.
Yes. Y'all had to catch my own self. I watch Ready to Love. I love to watch it. I was reached out. They wanted me to be on a cast on the show, but I guess I was too old, my old self. But anyway, I was watching it and I was like so mad. I can't believe these men are treating these women like this. I'm throw something at my TV and they're howling at the TV, all just emotional. And it's scripted. Everybody love Ready to Love, but is it real? Then they fall in love on the show, and before they get home, they broke up. And I'm over here hollering at the TV. all emotional, get my blood pressure up for a script. So we have, Baron said it earlier, we have to unplug, unpack some of this stuff, turn off some of the stuff sometime.
Well, I just want to give you your flower. You said it. I just reiterated.
Oh,
You
okay.
said that every week you unplug from everything. I was just co-signing. That's all I was doing. And I know that what you said works because I did it.
Yeah. Well,
but you're right. But you're absolutely right. You know, yeah, it's just so many things that we face with today. And I'll interject this. That's why I talk about we haven't directly dealt with this yet on the show, but that's why one of my highlights is social programming, because you know we are being influenced by think tanks, and people just don't realize that, because they live in this fantasy world where they just have hope in the people that run the country. You know, these people don't care about you. And I know they listening, but I'm just telling the truth.
Telling the truth. They
don't care. They don't care. If it's not associated to a source of income and they can benefit from it, they 9 times out of 10, they don't care. Let me say it like this. They care to the point to where it only helps them. If it doesn't help them, they don't care about it. So that's why you will have creators, content creators, like what Dr. Bridget just said, that will create a whole show to throw your mental balance off, because they like that. They like to keep you busy and going and not slowing down long enough to let your mind process, so that you can stay focused on the wrong things.
Right.
Part of keeping you engaged. See,
entertain.
Because you know, you have to think about it, is that you watch just not even just a show. We'll take something shorter than a show. We'll take a commercial. A commercial lasts generally between 15 and 30 seconds. 30 seconds is a long commercial, but a commercial is normally over within about 15, 20 seconds max, right? But within that 15, 20 seconds, it's already fed your subconscious enough to where that whatever it is that's on the TV, if you ain't hungry, now you're hungry.
Yep.
All of a sudden, I got a taste for some doggone, I ain't gonna put no names out there, but I got a taste for some chicken or a burger or something like that. Now I'm like, dang, why I'm hungry all of a sudden? I just finished eating.
Yeah. Subliminal messages.
Exactly.
Feeding your subconscious mind.
Yes.
So we have to be careful what we feed ourselves, not just, you know, the direct part of it, but subconsciously. Because the subconscious leads the conscious.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't think of it that way. Right. But because, you know, sometimes like you react a certain way or you do certain things and you don't know why.
Right.
Or like I said, you have certain craving and you don't know why. It just came on. But what were you doing that caused you to have that craving? What were you doing that caused your mind to focus in that manner, right? When you watch certain shows before you go to bed, and then now you had this crazy dream. I'm like, dang, why the hell did I have that type of dream? But what did you feed your mind before you went to sleep? So, you know, that has a lot to do with, you know, our mental state too, is the things that we feed our mental. You know, our mind is part of our mental, so we have to be careful what we feed ourselves that's damaging to the point to where that it causes mental decay.
That's good, James. One thing that we're teaching people about getting more restful sleep is we always hear not to consume caffeine 4 to 5 hours before it's time to go to bed so you can go to sleep. But we're also teaching, and it was weird because I saw it in one of my nursing textbooks for one of my class, and they said to stop stimuli 2 hours before, and then stimuli in parentheses they had TV, radio, social media. So turn that stimuli off 2 hours before you plan to go to bed. So we got to shut some of that down so that we can rest, so we can get a restful sleep. And if you're sleeping well, you can have a better opportunity to have a better day the next day. You're not so anxious. You're not depressed. You're not scared. You're not, none of those things are not affecting you because you're starting to, get rest and you're turning off for some of that. I had the news on yesterday while I was working on something. I had a TV on, but whatever I was watching went off or listening to went off. And I heard them say something on the news. I did like this. I was like, what they saying? I said, let me go turn this TV off. And they were talking about COVID and how this new variant is worse and more people are going to die. I was like, oh Lord, let me go turn this TV off.
And look, it's crazy you said that because we have a comment from Darian Hinojosa. He said he stopped watching the news a long time ago because they keep you stressed out and in fear.
Yes.
So, is the news is no longer informative.
Yes. It's a scare
agenda. It's agenda based.
Yes.
And in that agenda is depression. And then see, watch this. That's when you deal with psychological control.
Yep.
But
look at me started, man.
We have to allow, we set up and just like you said early on in the show, we focus a lot on the physical health, right? So, we want to lose weight. So what do? We go on these weight loss journeys, these life changes. We detox our bodies, but we also have to focus in on the mental health and what are we like I mentioned, what are we feeding our minds? But also we have to mentally detox. Yeah. We have to allow our minds a break from the nonsense.
Yes. Yep. And you don't have to go nowhere for that. You can do that at home.
You do that at home. You can
turn off the TV, tell them children to sit down. We all finna lay down and be quiet. And nobody ain't doing nothing. You'll be amazed how many children can't sit still longer than 5 minutes.
But you know what, too, is that I don't know. I know there's people that do it, and I know it mentions like in the Bible how people used to meditate, right? We have to sometimes just sit back and just do some self-meditation. You don't have to meditate on one particular thing just to clear your mind. The worries and the anxieties of life for a short period of time, just to give yourself a mental break so that you can continue on to deal with whatever you have to deal with throughout that day.
Yes.
It's imperative to what I call, James, to give a title to what you said, is to reset.
Mm-hmm.
You got to reset. Y'all remember coming up when the new games in our time were just coming out. They were the new thing, and everybody was playing them all day, and they would get hot, and you had to cut it off. You had to let it cool off, and then reset, and then you cut it back on.
Yep.
That's how we got to do our mind, because
that's good. That's a good analogy.
Yeah, you'll blow up. You'll blow up, and then you're not good for nobody. You either blow up
or you'll malfunction
with anger, or you'll blow up and you'll die, or you'll kill yourself, or somebody will kill you because you'll go after them, attack them. So that's why it's good to reset, because you'll be psychotic.
Yes.
You'll be psychotic. You just be all over the place, and then you won't be good for nobody. You won't be good for yourself, or anybody else. And that's why I shared this with y'all about 3 years ago. I made a promise to myself that I was not going to stretch out to the point of my chest hurting, my getting a headache, anything. I promised that to myself because I didn't want to do nothing that I couldn't remember. Like I didn't want to do nothing to nobody that I was gonna regret.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? Yeah, I was like, I could do that for myself. I can do that to myself.
Yeah.
I can be a bit of a hard A, you know, A. I can be a hard A. So I was like, you know what? I gotta do something about this because I can't be like this. I was like, I can't push this energy into the people that I know. You know, I can't do that. It's just not right. And so if somebody started talking about stuff that ain't on my frequency, ain't on my, you know, where I'm going,
yeah,
I shut it down. I get away from it, you know, and I don't allow it to enter into my psyche. Like James was saying, I don't allow it to get into my subconscious because see, you got to watch that too. You got to watch the conversation that you keep. You got to watch that because people will say things to you just to send out triggers.
And it's good that you mentioned conversations, right? Because to a degree, everyone has a degree of being introvert, right? Yeah. Meaning where that the transference of energy. We know energy is never destroyed, is not lost, it's just simply transferred. And that doesn't deal with the physical energy, just a physical energy, but also the mental energy. Because if you're in a good mood and you go around somebody who's negative and they're in a bad mood, if you stay there long enough, you're going to be in a bad mood because they transfer their energy upon you. And now you're in a bad mood, they're in a good mood. Or it can work the opposite, where that you're in a bad mood and you're around somebody who's upbuilding and encouraging. Now they bring you up and upbuild you, and now y'all both are able to be in a good mindset. Yeah. So you know, association plays a big part in mental health.
Yep.
So watch your association, man, because if the people who you associate with are not encouraging, upbuilding,
always
loving
negative
mentally, if they're negative all the time, don't have too many nice things to say about anything, those are not the people you want to be around, you know. No. So we want to choose our friends wisely. That's because right. I'm gonna say, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm gonna say about 50% of the time dealing with mental health is self-inflicted.
Yes.
You know, because I know that there are chemical imbalances and genetics that play a part with individuals'
that you can't deal
mental health that they have no control over. But a lot of times that's like me having a wound and I look at it and it's starting to scab over and now it's healing and I rip the scab off. Yeah. That's self-inflicted.
Yeah.
You know, I'm continuing to stab myself. So, you know, a lot of times we continue to put ourselves in mental depression.
Correct.
And we don't know why. And we want to blame everyone else around us. But baby, you the one doing it to yourself. You to blame. We need some self-reflection.
Yes. Or you allowing, like for instance, I was talking about the childhood trauma. It happened. And I'm not downplaying it or anything, but you have the ability to not let it paralyze you and control you as an adult. You gotta deal with it though. You gotta deal with it. And a lot of people won't deal with it. So I say I be doggone. That's not the word I use, but I'd be doggone if I'm gonna let something that happened to me at 12 affect me at 50. I'd be doggone.
Yeah.
But you had to. You got to go lay on the couch. You got to talk to somebody. You got to deal with it. You might even have to confront that person if they're still alive, or you might got to go to their grave and spit on it and kick it, knock over the headstone, or whatever you feel like you got to do to get past that hurt that you had from that childhood trauma. But I'll be doggone if I'm gonna let something that happened at 10 bother me at 50 or 40. You know what I'm saying? So you do have control over it, but you got to do something about it.
Most definitely. So
with that being said, y'all, hey, it's been great, and I want either of you, which I know James is gonna turn it over to you, Doc. So I guess I would just say we want you to close out with the last remarks and anything that you want to share with people about getting in touch with you or your books or whatever.
Okay. So the first thing I want to say is, if you are dealing with mental health, you do not have to suffer alone. There are resources out here for you to get help. You can go to mentalhealth.gov, and there's a lot of resources there for you. If you are feeling like that you want to hurt yourself, you want to commit suicide, I beg of you, I plead with you not to do that. Okay? Your life matters. You are needed in this earth. If you were not, you would have not been born. There's purpose in your life, and you are needed here. So if you're feeling like that you want to hurt yourself, you want to commit suicide, I want you to call this number. And if somebody can type it in, make sure it's in the chat. And it's the suicide hotline. There are professionals there that are trained to help you, keep you from hurting yourself. We don't want you to die. We need you in this earth for the assignment that was placed on your life. And that number is 1-800-273-8255.
Also, Dr. Bridges, when you get a chance, put that in the comments for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Give it to us again, Doc.
1-800-273-8255. And that is the number to the suicide hotline. Talk to someone. Don't hurt yourself. Your life is value. There's value in your life, and we need you here. There's help out there to help you get past whatever it is that's making you want to hurt yourself. And if you live here in the city of Houston and you're experiencing any kind of crisis, there's a number that you can call as well. And that number is 713. Oh, they changed the number. It's 832-416-1177.
And that's number 2.
The crisis intervention line in Houston. And I mean, if you're having any distress, you're scared because you couldn't pay your mortgage on the 1st or your rent on the 1st. The city of Houston got billions of dollars to help with that. But you got to reach out to people to get some of that money. If you don't have any food, that's the number to call. If you need some help, they'll give you resources.
Say it again, Doc. The crisis
intervention line of Houston.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And if you want to reach out to me, I do coach and I do offer mental health counseling. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Dr. Bridgette. That's DrBridgette. You inbox me. I answer all inbox messages. If you need some assistance, you need some referral. If I can't help you, I got a list of resources. Somebody that I know can help you. Okay. Whatever it is, we can help you. Reach out to me. I'm available. And if you run into anybody and ask them about me, I'm a woman of my word. If I can't get you the help that you need, I know somebody that can help you. Okay. I'm in the business of helping people help themselves. And I promise you, if you contact me, we'll make something happen.
Yes. Well, we appreciate you, Dr. Bridges. Yep. We really do. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
We got to take you out of something. We got to take you to dinner.
Just let me know. I put on my dress and my shoes and get my hat on.
Don't do no call for the season now.
Just let me know.
Yeah, we appreciate you. And it's always a privilege. It's
Yep.
always a privilege. So
It's
we really
always a
thank
privilege
you.
to talk to people and give them some guidance and help them get where they can live the best life that they need to live and they want to live as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, with that being said, James, you got anything you want to add? Share, man.
Hey, look, the doctor said it all. I'm on the doctor.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, all right with you. We gonna go ahead and let Doc shut it down. So we won't have to say nothing else about this show. All we're gonna say is watch the whole episode.
Yes.
Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And we would be glad if you guys shared it and liked the videos. With that being said, look, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Friday. Enjoy the weekend. As I always say, drink responsible. And y'all have a good evening.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. Good night.
Great evening and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
All right.